Donald Trump over the Trump University, but many people are not covering this. But the Clintons have had their own share of for-profit university scandal that deserves scrutiny. Luareate Educational Services had actually given former President Bill Clinton an honorary position of chancellor, but when they did the for-profit university investigation in the State Department, not State Department, but in some federal government agency, several of their university laureates universities have actually become exposed to a big scandal situation. I'm choosing to show a specific video of the news story breaking from One American News because I think it's best if I don't just lead on into speculation like a lot of people, but we do need to evaluate what's factual.
And while Donald Trump has been a target of scrutiny for his involvement with the Trump University, the Clintons also have their own scandal involving a college. One America's Cameron Kramer explains how tax records and emails link both Bill and Hillary Clinton to a scandal-plagued for-profit university.
Colleges in the 2016 race are intersecting in more than just the candidates' ideas to battle skyrocketing tuition and student loans. The recent uproar over Trump University has overshadowed the Clintons' involvement with a scandal-laden university. And while it doesn't bear their last name, the dollars and cents from Luareate Education all lead back to the Democratic frontrunner and her husband. Let's start at the beginning. What is Luareate Education? It was a company initially established in 1998 under the name Sylvan International Universities. Shortly into the new millennium, the company focused its sights solely on higher education, and more often than not, higher education abroad. It purchased schools in Spain, Switzerland, and Mexico. By 2004, the company changed its name to Luareate Education and its subsidiary, Luareate International Universities. At the time, it already owned 75 schools in 30 countries. Several years later, it hired Bill Clinton as an honorary chancellor, the start of a 5-year relationship. But over that time period, the cracks would begin to show in the for-profit university system. A 2014 Washington Post article exposed the telemarketing nature of enrollment operations, saying workers enticed by bonuses would make over 1,000 calls a day to persuade Brazilian students to take an entrance exam for one school alone. But when those prospective students turned into actual students, they were plagued with debt. A 2015 study from the Center for American Progress found just 20 universities were responsible for almost 1/5 of all grad student debt. Number 1 was Walden University, a Laureate-owned institution whose grad students borrowed $756 million in 2014. Bill Clinton stepped down as honorary chancellor the same year the CAP report came out, but he didn't leave empty-handed. Over his 5-year stay, tax records show the former president pocketed over $16 million for his part-time position. In 2013 alone, Clinton netted nearly $4 million for his role as honorary chancellor. But it wasn't just Bill Clinton that received financial support from the for-profit university system. Douglas Becker, Laureate's CEO and founder, gave Hillary Clinton's campaign $2,000 in 2005 and $2,700 in 2015. Hillary Clinton's ties to the company go deeper. Emails from August of 2009 show Clinton discussing the guest list for an upcoming education dinner event. Clinton pushes for a representative from Laureate Universities, a for-profit international education company, to be included. A follow-up document from August 17th shows Clinton's wish was granted. Joseph Duffy, Laureate's senior vice president, was among the guests. And while Clinton says America shouldn't solve problems by pushing dollars at them,
we can't fix the problem of rising costs and rising debt just by throwing more money at the problem.
It turns out that's just what she did for Laureate Universities. Its nonprofit sector received almost $2 million in grant money from the State Department and became part of its global partnership group in 2010. Laureate has made headlines for other reasons. being scrutinized abroad for purchasing physical campuses and boosting enrollment to increase profits at the expense of quality, even leading to one university losing accreditation. But what did Clinton say about so-called predatory schools on the campaign trail?
We will crack down on predatory schools, lenders, and bill collectors. If you defraud students, overcharge veterans, or mislead borrowers, we're going to do everything we can to hold you accountable and stop you.
While opponents are quick to criticize Donald Trump over Trump University, records show the Clintons' ties to Luareate University and the numerous scandals the for-profit college company is linked to could be yet another subject the Democratic frontrunner would like to bury, rather than face questioning. Cameron Kramer, One America News.
Now, obviously, I don't think either presidential candidate is perfect, but I find it very hypocritical that Hillary Clinton would use the same kind of attacks that could be used against her, against Donald Trump, when Donald Trump's scandal is, by any means, a much simpler, smaller situation that can be seen more as a mistake in earnest. So I'm going to also going to add the news story for Trump University. This time it's going to be one from news story from CNN. And I'm going to have us look at some major details to explain the difference. So I do hope you stay and listen. But I am not going to say you're going to be ill-informed, because I started out with the big picture and I'm going into details now. So I do thank you for your time, and I'm going to go on to the next video clip.
This was the promise of Trump University when it launched, direct from the university chairman's own mouth.
At Trump University, we teach success. That's what it's all about, success. It's going to happen to you.
It operated from 2005 through 2010 and enrolled 10,000 students in real estate courses that range from free seminars up to $35,000 for advanced training and mentoring.
I think the biggest step towards success is going to be sign up at Trump University.
For a while, it was a business success. Trump University took in an estimated $40 million from people who believed they too could someday become successful.
Put proven Donald Trump secrets to work for you.
But it turns out not everything Donald Trump promises comes true, and not all of his businesses lead to success. Trump University is closed.
And it ended. Why did it end?
Well, the economy crashed. The real estate market crashed and demand fell off a little bit. So while the company continues to exist, it's currently not accepting any more students, and hasn't since 2010.
Alan Garten is Donald Trump's attorney. He's defending the school from 3 separate lawsuits, 2 class action lawsuits filed in California, and 1 filed by New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, who took his case to CNN's New Day just days after filing his lawsuit in 2013.
And we started looking at Trump University and discovered that it was a classic bait and switch scheme. It was a scam, starting with the fact that it was not a university. They promised they were going to teach people with hand-picked experts by Donald Trump. The teachers were neither hand-picked nor experts.
He was very involved. From the early stages, he was meeting regularly, every week, every 2 weeks, with the people who were going to run the day-to-day operations of the course.
So the allegation that he had nothing to do with this, that he didn't pick a single expert, as the New York Attorney General has claimed, you say is completely false.
It's completely untrue, 100% untrue.
The New York Attorney General declined to be interviewed for this report, but provided CNN with 6 of the 150 affidavits he says he's collected from unsatisfied Trump University students, who mostly complain their education at the school was worthless. Like this student who writes, "I have not been able to get in touch with anyone after I signed up for the Trump Gold Elite program. All the numbers have been disconnected." One student who paid $25,000 to have special access to high-level mentors claims he hasn't been able to get in touch with his non-existent power team. And as for investing knowledge, a student says he wrote off Trump University as a bad investment on my part. Most of the students never met or even laid eyes on Donald Trump. Trump University is now called Trump Entrepreneur Initiative. The school says it never promised anyone would meet the Donald.
There's at least 10,000 people who paid. So you can go and pick 3 or 4 affidavits from people, or maybe 20 affidavits, or maybe 30 affidavits. It's still a minuscule amount. I have in my bag, and I'm happy to read to you, all the people who love the course.
And he did, providing CNN with 14 affidavits from satisfied students. Garton says Trump will continue to fight all 3 lawsuits until he eventually wins, even if legal fees wipe out any profit he may have made. And in the end, win or lose, Trump University may have taught everyone a valuable lesson. Not every promise comes true. Not everyone, even students of Donald Trump, will become a success.
And I bet the first person who would tell you that is Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
You got to work hard. You got to know what you're doing. You got to outfox a lot of different people. He must know in his heart, a lot of these suckers in this room don't have what it takes to do what I did.
Well, I don't think the way he views it. Let me just take a step back. First of all, I agree with you, okay? All we can do is provide the tools for people to go out there and apply these things. If I can't control what happens out in the real world, if someone goes and takes our classes and decides to sit on their couch and not apply them, I can't help that.
In the real world, Trump has just won another court battle. A California judge has just made it harder for former students of Trump University to get any money back in damages, even if those students can eventually prove the school was just one big fraud. And so far, Trump is winning.
Drew, these cases have been dragging on and on and on. Any sense when it will all be decided?
Man, it's been going on a long time, John. Lots of legal maneuvering. Trump's legal team has been able to whittle away at how many people could actually sue for damages, how they would be able to prove damages. But the heart of the case, the merits, have yet to be decided. And at this point, John, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen very soon at all.
So Donald Trump is the front runner on the Republican side. How will this affect the campaign? Can he fight the case at the same time as trying to become president? What happens if he does become president?
You know, believe it or not, Trump's lawyer told me they actually had discussions about all this. What to do if there is a pending legal case and a President Trump. The strategy would be to seek a temporary hold on the case until that Trump presidency would end. But if that doesn't work, Trump's attorney says, look, it's not the first time a sitting president had to fight a lawsuit. But, John, a long, long way to go in both the campaign, as you know, and apparently in the battle over this Trump University.
And welcome back to Hannity. So while the mainstream media and liberals attack Trump University, they are, of course, ignoring major hypocrisy from the Clintons. Now, Democrats claim they want to make college more affordable for everybody. But guess what? Well, the Clintons got filthy rich off a for-profit university that took advantage of many poor people. Now, the Clintons' tax returns reveal that Bill Clinton earned more than $16 million as the honorary chancellor of Luareate International Universities, a subsidiary of Luareate Education Inc. Now, we reached out to the Clinton campaign for comment. They haven't gotten back to us yet. If they do, we'll let you know. Back with reaction, Tucker Carlson, Monica Crowley. All right, I want to lay this out here. He got, in a 4-year period of time, $16.5 million. That's an awful lot of money. It was also revealed through one of Hillary's emails, that is Secretary of State. She insisted that Luareate Education be included on a guest list for a State Department dinner. That's only part of it. Now, a lot of Latin American countries, this is online and in school, well, they've had many problems. As a matter of fact, a Rio state legislator actually concluded this education is all about profit, not about knowledge. You have one student felt deceived by the university system. They didn't give her the discount that she was promised. Another one said, I knew I blew the test. I had no reason being in that school. They wanted the money. Bill Clinton is a part of this, and it's also taking advantage of poor people. Why haven't we heard about this anywhere else?
So there are two parts to this. Number one, that Bill Clinton and by extension Hillary Clinton made $16.5 million from Luareate Education, a for-profit educational organization.
There are 5 separate, this was according to CNBC, Tucker, 5 separate affiliates, by the way, charging $60,000 tuition. A lot of top schools don't charge that amount of money.
No.
But anyway, I'll read from CNBC. Critics of Luareate's Walden University in Minnesota claim professors were inaccessible, that the continual delays stretched out the time, meaning the money that the kids had to end up paying to earn an advanced degree. And students filed lawsuits against Walden, the Luareate University affiliate, hoping to make a class action suit in this case. Now, considering that sounds exactly like what the allegations are against Trump University, where's equal coverage?
Look, if you're a for-profit university, number one on your to-do list is to make sure that you get the left to stop criticizing you. For-profit universities have been a target for a long time of Democratic policy. What's the fastest way to stop criticism? Buy off your critics. $16 million. So the question for Hillary Clinton is, what exactly did he do to earn $16 million in 4 years? Like, let's be precise here.
And it lost their accreditation. For example, Chile has the National Accreditation Commission, and they cited low graduation rates, a sharp increase in student enrollment without faculty members keeping pace, and it's classic behavior of schools cutting costs to increase revenue. And they took the accreditation away in certain places.
Yeah, and there are actually a couple of countries on this list, Sean, where Bill Clinton's face is like plastered all over ads for Luareate Education. Right. Countries like Brazil, where for-profit universities are actually illegal. So what were they even doing in these countries?
Is, no, but when you're talking about Latin American countries, you're talking about some very poor people that are being bamboozled into thinking their lives are going to get better, and you know what? And then milking them dry.
Leftists are always complaining that we shouldn't turn education into a commodity. Well, here it is. But the more important thing, too, I think, is that the chairman of Luareate Education, a guy named Douglas Barker, has very close ties to the Clinton Global Initiative. And you know who else is a donor to Luareate? George Soros.
Oh, isn't that great?
Tangled webs.
Sounds like one big happy family. Here's the challenge, though. So Trump maybe should have handled this issue of explaining how the judge has bias, as Connect mentions in these questions. It reminds George Stephanopoulos the one question about Bill Ayers that happened in the 2008 election cycle. Yeah. Nobody else in the mainstream media ever asked the question.
So if you, I just got finished reading today's pool report, which is a report of the mainstream news organizations that are covering Hillary Clinton, and she just did an availability in Los Angeles. You should see the question, literally the questions she was asked today, an hour ago, were so much softer than the questions that, say, Miss America gets right after the swimsuit portion of the competition.
Oh, you mean
they were literally along the lines of,
how are you going to get world peace? And
yeah, but how does it feel to be on the cusp of victory? What's it like to be the first potential female president? Like, why are you so great? Honestly, can you answer that? Questions like that.
Tucker, why are you so great? I just want to know. Right. Good to see you both. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
I'm pretty sure, as you can see, the big picture here is that just by the manner of how the Clintons approached gaining this income and power, they have shown to purposefully distance themselves from the institution while being associated with the institution. Why would you purposefully distance yourself from an institution if you feel it's on the honest up and up, whereas if you look at the Donald Trump one, Donald Trump is the founder himself. Just because a university is not accredited is not necessarily a illegal situation. There are several vocational schools that are not required to be accredited, especially real estate schools. There is a requirement to pass a state mandated real estate law exam for brokers and real estate agents, but the schools themselves are not required to be accredited. The bait and switch thing, it is not necessarily a clear-cut, purposefully done situation. If it was in a California court, you would have to prove that it was purposefully done, not necessarily that it was done, but that there was an intent to do so. And there's no clear evidence of intent by Donald Trump. Whereas there's clear evidence of intent if the same thing was put scrutiny against Bill or Hillary Clinton. There's a clear-cut intent just by the way they managed their actions while being a part of Luareate Education Inc. Now, again, like I'm saying, I don't believe either candidate is perfect. I wasn't originally a supporter of Donald Trump, even though I currently am. I'm just barely a supporter. I believe economically and foreign policy-wise, he is better equipped than Hillary Clinton. But you can't equate the two stories without understanding the details behind them. Hillary Clinton has a conflict of interest with Luareate Education because of her husband's involvement with it. So if she did try to do some sort of legal disciplinary action against Luareate, she'd be in a bind. Whereas Trump University, being directly founded by Trump, and it's not currently operating anymore, Trump does not have that same binding situation. So, in essence, Trump's legal situation with Trump University is much lower of a struggle situation than, if we had Bill or Hillary going through the same kind of scrutiny for Luareate, which did indeed abuse the system and disenfranchise the poor in the world. So I do think we need public scrutiny with true information, not just speculation. And I hope that you see what I'm doing is I'm trying to expose you to what is actually out there, not just what certain politicians want you to hear. That is why I did not exclude the Trump University situation while talking about this. I believe it is most beneficial to have both in the dialogue, in the discussion. I do thank you for your time, and I hope you come back and watch more.